February 28, 2026. The desert air over western Iran feels wrong to still, to quiet, like the sky itself is holding its breath. Sergeant Daniel Reeves stands beside a sand-colored armored vehicle, his boots half buried in cold dust. He checks his watch again. To 13 hours, nothing moves beyond the jagged ridgeline except a faint shimmer of heat from distant oil fields. This isn't supposed to be a war zone, not yet. Feels like the calm before something bad, whispers Private Ellis, his voice barely cutting through the silence. Reeves doesn't answer. He's heard that line before in training, in Iraq, in briefings that ended with names carved into stone. But tonight feels different. There's no chatter on the radio, no drones overhead. Even the wind is gone. He tightens his grip on his rifle. Stay sharp, he mutters. Somewhere far above them, unseen, satellites watch. Generals argue. Politicians hesitate. But down here, in the dark, men like Reeves wait without answers. Then it happens. At first, it's just a flicker like distant lightning. One flash, then another, then the horizon erupts. A streak of fire tears across the sky, followed by another, and another, dozens of glowing arcs screaming eastward. The sound follows seconds later, a low, rising thunder that rolls across the desert like a living thing. Ellis stumbles back. What the hell is that? Reeves already knows. His stomach drops. Missiles, he says. Too many? The radio explodes to life, voices overlapping, panicked and sharp. Multiple launches confirmed. This is not a drill. All units, take defensive positions. The ground trembles beneath their boots as distant impacts bloom into pillars of fire. Orange light spills across the desert, turning night into a burning twilight. Somewhere out there, cities are waking to sirens. Somewhere, people are running. Reeves feels it in his chest, not fear. Not yet, but the weight of something irreversible. The war has just begun. Another roar splits the sky, closer this time. Reeves looks up. A missile is falling. Down, he shouts, grabbing Ellis and slamming him into the dirt as the world turns white, and the shockwave hits. The blast slams into Reeves like a wall of air and fire. For a moment, there is nothing, no sound, no thought, just a blinding white void. Then the world crashed back, in heat, dust, a high-pitched ringing that drowns everything else. Reeves coughs, his mouth filled with sand. He pushes himself up, ears screaming, vision blurred. The armored vehicle beside them burns, its metal skin torn open like paper. Flames lick into the night, sending black smoke twisting into the sky. Ellis, Reeves grabs blindly, finding the young soldier half buried beside him. Ellis, you alive? Ellis groans, dazed but breathing. Blood trickles from his forehead, mixing with dust. His eyes are wide, unfocused. I can't hear. Doesn't matter. Move. Another explosion erupts in the distance, closer this time. The ground shudders again. This isn't a single strike. It's a barrage. Reeves forces Ellis to his feet. Around them, the desert has transformed into chaos. Radios crackle. Men shout orders no one can fully hear. A second vehicle burns further down the line, its crew scrambling away from the flames. Reeves, over here. Staff Sergeant Cole waves frantically from behind a rock outcrop. We're pulling back now. Reeves doesn't hesitate. He drags Ellis forward, boots slipping in loose sand, lungs burning as smoke thickens the air. Overhead, the sky is alive with streaking fire missiles inbound. Outbound, impossible to tell. Each one screams like a falling star. Each one promises destruction. They dive behind the rocks just as another impact slams into the ridge. The explosion sends a rain of debris over them, stone, metal, and something softer Reeves refuses to look at. Cole grips Reeves by the shoulder. His face is tight, controlled, but his eyes betray the truth. This isn't a warning shot, he says. This is full scale. Reeves nods, breath coming hard. Who fired first? Cole shakes his head. Doesn't matter anymore. The radio cuts through again, clearer this time but no less urgent. All units, confirm. Coordinated strikes across multiple regions repeat. This is a regional conflict escalation. Reeves feels the word settle in his chest like lead. Regional escalation. That's how wars are named, clean, clinical. But out here, it's fire and screaming metal and men trying not to die. Ellis grips his arm suddenly, pointing upward with a trembling hand. Reeves follows his gaze. High above the chaos, something new cuts through the sky faster, lower, and coming straight for them. Not a missile, a jet, and it's diving. The jet screams down from the darkness like a blade tearing through fabric. Reeves barely has time to think. The roar hits first deep, violent, shaking the air in his lungs. Then the shape emerges through smoke and fire, low and fast, its silhouette cutting across the burning horizon. Airstrike, Cole shouts, already pushing himself tighter against the rocks. Stay down. Reeves drags Ellis beside him, forcing his head into the dirt. The ground vibrates as the aircraft drops even lower, its engine howl rising to a deafening pitch. For a split second, Reeves catches a glimpse of its underside sleek, lethal, marked but indistinct in the chaos. Then the bombs fall. 3 dark shapes detach, tumbling for a heartbeat before igniting the earth. The first impact is a flash so bright it erases the night. The second follows instantly, a concussive blast that lifts sand and stone into a violent storm. The third hits somewhere behind them, and the shockwave rolls through like thunder made solid. Reeves feels the air punch from his chest. His grip on Ellis tightens instinctively. Around them, men shout, some in pain, some in orders, some in panic. When the noise fades just enough to think, Reeves lifts his head. The ridge is gone. Where there had been a jagged line of rock minutes ago, there is now a smoldering crater. Flames dance across shattered ground. A vehicle lies overturned, its wheels still spinning uselessly in the air. Cole, Reeves calls out, scanning through smoke. A shape stirs nearby. Cole pushes himself up, coughing hard, his uniform torn and dust-covered. I'm here, he rasps. Everyone else? He doesn't finish the question. He doesn't need to. Reeves turns slowly, taking in the devastation. This wasn't a targeted strike. It was meant to erase everything in this position. Ellis grips his sleeve again, stronger this time. His hearing is coming back just enough for fear to find its voice. Why here? Ellis asks, his words shaking. We're not even. This isn't a main target. Reeves doesn't answer immediately. His eyes move to the horizon, where distant fires burn brighter now. Not just one location, multiple, spreading. This isn't about us, he says finally, his voice low. Cole nods grimly. We're just in the way. The radio crackles again, cutting through the smoke-filled silence. All surviving units, be advised. Enemy aircraft confirmed across. Multiple sectors, air superiority contested. Reeves exhales slowly. Contested means neither side owns the sky, which means more is coming, as if summoned by the thought. Another sound begins to build, faint at first, then growing. Not one jet, several. Reeves looks up into the burning sky, his jaw tightening. Get ready, he says, because this time, they're not just passing through. The sky doesn't quiet. It builds. Reeves hears it before he sees anything. Layered engine noise. Different tones overlapping, circling somewhere beyond the smoke. Not a single strike package. Multiple aircraft, moving fast, shifting positions. Hunting. Those aren't all ours, Cole mutters, wiping dust from his eyes. He scans upward, trying to separate shapes from the chaos. Stay low. If this spot heat signatures, we're finished. Reeves nods. He pulls Ellis closer to the rocks, forcing both of them into the shadow of what little cover remains. The desert no longer feels open, it feels exposed, like they're lying on a stage under 1,000 unseen eyes. A distant flash catches his attention. Not an explosion, something sharper, faster. Missile trail. High above, 2 jets cross paths in a blur of motion. One breaks hard left, releasing flares that burn bright against the night. The other follows, closing distance. Dogfight, Ellis whispers, the word trembling out of him. Reeves watches, unable to look away. The jets twist and climb, their movements violent and precise. Then a streak, fast, direct impact. One aircraft blossoms into fire, fragments scattering like sparks before vanishing into the dark. The remaining jet roars overhead seconds later, so low Reeves feels the heat of its engines. This isn't controlled airspace anymore. This is war in the sky. The radio bursts again, more fragmented now, voices stepping over each other. Air units engaging. Multiple losses confirmed. Ground teams, relocate immediately. Coordinates compromised. Cole slams a fist against the rock. We can't stay here, he says. They'll sweep this area again. Reeves agrees, but the terrain offers little hope. The ridge is gone. Their vehicles are destroyed. They're exposed, under active air conflict, with no clear direction. Ellis looks between them, panic rising. Where do we go? Reeves studies the burning horizon. Through the smoke, he spots something, faint shapes, low structures in the distance. Not military. Too scattered, too irregular. A village. It's a risk. Civilians. Unknown loyalties. But it's cover. And right now, cover means survival. He makes the call. That way, Reeves says, pointing through the haze. We move fast, stay low, no lights. Cole hesitates for half a second, just enough to understand the danger, then nods. Better than dying out here. Another jet screams overhead, followed by the distant thud of new explosions. Reeves pulls Ellis to his feet. Stay with me, he says firmly. They break from cover. 3 figures running into a burning night, beneath a sky that no longer belongs to anyone. Behind them, Something whistles through the air closer than before. Reeves doesn't turn, but he knows. They've been seen. The desert offers no mercy. Reeves runs low, every breath sharp with smoke and sand. His boots slam into uneven ground, slipping, catching, pushing forward again. Behind him, Ellis struggles to keep pace, his breathing ragged and even. Cole brings up the rear, turning his head every few seconds, watching the sky, listening for death. The village is still far, too far. A sharp crack splits the air, not an explosion. Gunfire. Reeves drops instantly, dragging Ellis down with him. Bullets tear into the sand ahead, kicking up violent sprays of dust. Another burst follows, tighter, more controlled. Contact. Cole shouts, already returning fire in short, disciplined bursts. Reeves rolls behind a shallow dip in the terrain, raising his rifle. He scans through the haze there. Dark shapes along a low ridge, barely visible but moving with purpose. Not civilians. Suppressing. Reeves fires, the recoil steady against his shoulder. His shots aren't meant to hit, they're meant to keep heads down, to buy seconds. Seconds are everything now. Ellis fumbles beside him, hands shaking as he tries to steady his weapon. I can't see them. Then don't look for them. Reeves snaps, not unkindly. Watch for movement. Breathe. Another burst of incoming fire cracks overhead, closer this time. One round slams into the ground inches from Reeves' arm, spraying sand into his face. They're being bracketed. Cole slides in beside them, breath controlled but eyes sharp. They've got elevation. We stay here, we're done. Reeves nods quickly. He glances toward the village again, closer now. Its outlines clearer through the smoke. Low buildings, narrow alleys. Cover. On my mark, Reeves says. We move together. Short sprints. No stopping. Ellis swallows hard, nodding. The gunfire pauses for a split second, just long enough. Now, they surge forward. The enemy reacts instantly. Bullets chase them across the open ground, snapping past ears, tearing through the air with terrifying precision. Reeves runs harder, legs burning, lungs screaming. He doesn't think, just moves. A shot rings out. Ellis stumbles. Reeves grabs him mid-fall, hauling him upright without breaking stride. Keep moving, he yells, half dragging him forward. The village is close now. 20 meters, 10. The first mud brick wall appears out of the smoke like salvation. They crash into it, collapsing into the narrow shadow between buildings. Gunfire still cracks behind them, but it's farther now, less accurate. For a moment, there is only breathing. Harsh, desperate, alive. Then Reeves looks down. Ellis is clutching his side. Blood seeps through his fingers, and it's not slowing. Ellis tries to speak, but the words don't come out right. A wet, choking sound escapes instead as he presses harder against his side. Blood seeps between his fingers, dark and heavy in the low light. His eyes are wide, not with panic, but confusion, like his body hasn't caught up to what just happened. Reeves drops beside him instantly. Let me see it. His voice is steady, controlled. It has to be. Ellis shakes his head weakly. I'm fine. Just a scratch. It's not. Reeves pulls his hands away gently but firmly. The wound is bad. Entry on the side. No clear exit. The kind of hit that hides its damage until it's too late. Cole crouches close, scanning the alley, rifle ready. We don't have time, he mutters. They'll push in. Reeves ignores him for a second. He tears open a field dressing, hands moving fast, practiced. He presses it hard against the wound. Ellis gasps, his body arching. Stay with me, Reeves says quietly. Stay here. I can't feel my legs, Ellis whispers. Reeves freezes for half a second, then keeps working. Around them, the village feels empty but not safe. Doors are shut tight, windows dark. No movement, no voices, just the distant echo of gunfire and the constant hum of jets overhead. They're alone, or worse, being watched. Cole shifts position, peering toward the edge of the alley. Movement, he says under his breath. They're coming in. Slow, careful. Reeves finished securing the bandage, his hands now slick with blood. He looks down at Ellis, really looks this time. The kid is pale, breathing shallow. Too fast. We need to move him, Reeves says. Cole shakes his head immediately. He won't make it far. Reeves meets his eyes. There's no anger there. Just a hard truth neither of them wants to say out loud. If we stay, Cole adds, none of us make it. A pause, the kind that stretches longer than it should. Ellis looks between them, understanding more than they think. His voice is faint now. Don't wait for me. Reeves clenches his jaw. This isn't how it goes. Not like this. Not in some forgotten alley in a war that started less than an hour ago. Footsteps echo faintly from the far end of the street. Closer. Deliberate. Reeves makes a decision. He pulls Ellis up, ignoring the protest in his own body. We're not leaving you, he says firmly. Cole exhales sharply, but he doesn't argue again. They move deeper into the village, one man carrying another, the third watching their backs. Behind them, shadows slip into the alley, and this time, they're not firing. The footsteps don't rush. That's what makes them worse. Reeves hears them echo through the narrow alleyway, slow, measured, deliberate. Not the chaotic charge of soldiers in panic. These men are controlled. Hunting. He shifts Ellis higher on his shoulder, ignoring the strain tearing through his back. Every step sends a jolt through Ellis's body, but the wounded soldier barely reacts now. His head lolls slightly, breath shallow, fading. "Stay with me," Reeves whispers under his breath, more to himself than to Ellis. Cole moves ahead, checking each corner before they turn. His rifle leads, steady, precise. "This way," he signals, guiding them into a tighter passage between crumbling mud brick walls. The village closes in around them, tight corridors, blind turns, doorways that could hide anything. No lights, no voices, just silence, and those footsteps behind them. Closer now. Reeves risks a glance back. At the far end of the alley they just left, shapes emerge from the darkness, armed, moving in formation. Not firing, not shouting, tracking. "Contact, rear," Reeves murmurs. Cole nods once. "They want us alive." The realization hangs heavy. Reeves pushes forward faster. That changes everything. Dead, they're nothing. Alive, they're leverage. Information. Prisoners. Ellis stirs weakly. What's happening?" Reeves tightens his grip. "We're getting you out," he says. It sounds like a promise. It feels like a lie. They turn another corner and stop. The alley opens into a small courtyard. Broken stone. A dry well at the center. 3 exits, all of them exposed. Cole scans quickly. No cover. We cross. We're visible. Behind them, the footsteps grow louder. Boots scraping softly against dirt. Weapons shifting. Time is gone. Reeves lowers Ellis carefully against the wall. Just for a second. His mind races distance, angles, timing. No good options. Just choices between bad and worse. "We split," Cole says quietly. "Draw them off. One of us gets him out." Reeves shakes his head instantly. "No. It's the only." A sound cuts him off. A metallic click. From above. Reeves looks up. On the rooftops surrounding the courtyard, silhouettes appear dark against the faint glow of distant fires. Rifles aimed downward. Perfect angles. No rush. No panic. They've been guided here. Trapped. Ellis lets out a weak breath. Reeves doesn't look away from the figures above. "Yeah," he answers quietly, for the first time since the missiles fell. He has no move left. A voice calls out from the darkness. Calm, controlled, not shouted. A command. Reeves doesn't understand the words, but he understands the meaning. "Drop your weapons." The courtyard holds its breath. Reeves feels the weight of every rifle aimed at them, from the rooftops, from the alley behind. No shouting, no chaos, just control. He lowers his weapon slowly. Cole hesitates a fraction longer, then follows. The sound of metal touching dirt is soft, final. Ellis doesn't move. He barely can. Boots enter the courtyard. 4 men first, then more behind them. Their silhouettes sharpen as they step closer, disciplined. Alert, weapons steady but not frantic. One of them gestures sharply. Another moves to secure the alley. They're professionals. One soldier steps forward, removing his helmet. His face is young, but his eyes are not. He studies Reeves for a long second, then speaks again, short, precise. Reeves raises his hands slightly, palms open. "We're not resisting." The man doesn't react to the words, but he understands the posture. 2 soldiers move in, disarming them quickly. Efficient. No wasted motion. Cole tenses when they take his sidearm, but he doesn't fight. Not here. Not now. Ellis groans as someone kneels beside him. The same young soldier looks down at the wound, then barks in order. A medkit appears. Reeves blinks, surprised. "There, helping him?" Cole mutters under his breath. Reeves doesn't answer. He watches closely. The bandage is replaced, tighter, more precise. The bleeding slows, but Ellis's breathing doesn't improve. The young soldier looks back at Reeves, holding his gaze for a moment. Then he gestures again. "Move." Rough hands guide Reeves and Cole toward the edge of the courtyard. Not violent, but firm, controlled. They're no longer targets. They're prisoners. Ellis is lifted onto a makeshift stretcher. He doesn't protest. He doesn't speak. They move through the village in silence. The same empty streets, the same dark windows. But now, Reeves sees it differently. This wasn't abandoned. It was cleared, prepared. Every turn, every alley, they were funneled here. Cut off, captured without a single wasted shot at the end. This was planned. As they reach the edge of the village, Reeves sees vehicles waiting in the darkness. Engines low, lights off. One of the soldiers pushes him forward. Cole walks beside him, jaw tight. This just got bigger, he says quietly. Reeves nods once. Missiles, airstrikes, ground units moving with precision. This wasn't chaos. This was coordination. Ellis is loaded into the back of a vehicle. Reeves tries to follow, but a hand stops him. Separated, the doors slam shut, engines rise, and as the convoy begins to move into the black desert, Reeves feels it settle in. The war didn't just begin tonight. It was ready. The vehicle jerks forward, metal walls rattling with every turn. Reeves sits on the cold floor, hands bound, back pressed against the steel interior. Across from him, Cole steadies himself against the movement, his face unreadable in the dim red glow of a single overhead light. No windows, no sense of direction, just motion. The engine growls louder as the convoy picks up speed, carrying them deeper into the desert. Reeves counts the seconds in his head, tracking turns, estimating distance. Training takes over where fear wants to rise. How long? Cole mutters quietly. 20 minutes, maybe more, Reeves replies. Hard to tell. Cole nods once, then leans his head back against the wall. They hit everything at once, he says. Air, ground, even us out there in the middle of nowhere. Reeves doesn't respond immediately, because Cole is right. This wasn't reaction, it was design. The vehicle slows suddenly. Both men tense. The engine cuts. Silence rushes in. The back doors swing open, flooding the compartment with harsh white light. Reeves squints as silhouettes appear, armed, alert. Move, one of them orders, the word accented but clear enough. Reeves and Cole step out into the night. The air feels colder here. They stand on hard-packed ground, not sand. Reeves looks around quickly, taking in what he can. Low structures, reinforced, antennas rising into the dark. Vehicles parked in organized lines. Guards positioned with purpose. A forward operating base. Hidden. Prepared. Busy. Men move quickly between positions. Radios crackle. Equipment is being unloaded, checked, distributed. No panic. No confusion. They were expecting this night. Reeves's chest tightens, not with fear, but realization. This war didn't erupt. It was triggered. A soldier steps forward, the same young man from the village. He studies Reeves again, as if trying to measure him. Then he speaks, slower this time. In a few hours, he says carefully, choosing his words, everything will change. Reeves meets his gaze, unflinching. It already has. The soldier considers that, then gives a slight nod. Not agreement, acknowledgement. Behind them, another vehicle arrives. Its doors open. Reeves turns instinctively. Ellis is inside, unconscious, alive but barely. Reeves takes a step forward, and a rifle blocks his path. Not yet, the soldier says. Reeves stops. Around him, the base hums with quiet intensity. Above, the sky is no longer filled with missiles, but it isn't empty either. Distant lights move across the darkness, more aircraft, more operations unfolding far beyond what he can see. This is only the beginning, and for the first time, Reeves understands the truth no one back home does yet. No one was ready.